So there we go, as per usual, back in. Good evening, Reg. How are we, sir?
All right, sir. How are you?
Yes, not too bad. All things considering. All things considering. We'll get to that in about half an hour or so.
What other team cannot be behind for 78 minutes and still contrive to lose? It's just majestic.
It is. We'll get to it, but there you go. No surprises. Tracy and Steve Wilson are with us, and it gives me great pleasure to say that Joel Scholes has made the transition from watching the repeat on YouTube to actually being here live, as we're doing it live on Facebook. So I'm going to expect, and he's already in the chat, which is good to see. So I'd expect Joel will be giving us plenty of comment as we go through. Joel, Huddersfield Giants fan, so he's loving life at the moment. He's Joel. So, and of course, we know that Tracy and Steve, they're whole fans, and as more people, just as they all start ploughing in, we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll keep giving shout outs. Get involved, speak in the chat as you always do, and we'll give you shout outs, and we'll discuss whatever it is that you want us to discuss. So, first of all, a couple of mentions. Big win last night for Lee in the game against Featherstone.
What a great game!
Yeah,
really good advertisement for the championship.
Very nip and tuck in it between them two.
It is, but a couple of sendings off as well.
Yeah,
naughty challenge. But yeah, I'm tell you what, the rumours around Charlie going to Lee. Those two wingers they've got, did he need it?
Ferguson, mate, he's a player, isn't he? Player. I mean, no disrespect to the Championship or League, but let's be fair. That is a player that is severely in the wrong league.
But if Lee do and looks slightly, they're probably favourites to come up now. He will.
That's going to be the £1 million game, isn't it? I mean,
he will.
It's a £1 million game.
The crowd.
Oh.
It's Ferguson. Hello.
Yeah, we're back. We just had a few little gremlins there, but we're back. Go on, carry on, mate.
Oh, I was saying, before the gremlins pull the plug, Ferguson will bring in crowds if he stays with Lee next season. The potential that the English signing had for us a few years ago and didn't work out. If he stays fit and well and stays with Lee, he will bring people to rugby games.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
He's a superstar. I used to love watching him in the NRL. What?
Barry's in. Barry, the Wakefield fan from last week. He's going to love this tonight, isn't he?
Anyway, good night, everyone.
Barry's just tuned in.
See you next week, everyone.
All right, lads. And I'm sure there's a smug grin as he's blowing on his cheroot and having his beer.
Fair play to Wakefield. Fair play to
him. But no, good to have you along, Barry, as always. Good times. But no, well done to Lee. And really, it's only right we start with James Roby, really. 455 appearances and counting for St. Helens. Former Man of Steel, Super League winner, World Club Championship winner, Challenge Cup winner.
He's won the lot, basically. He's won the lot. I think the World Cup is the only thing he hasn't won.
Yeah, and I see that, Gary Schofield going mad, saying that, Sean Wayne needs to get him out of retirement and actually make him captain as a sweetener for getting him in the team. Lots of those type of comments going on. Don't really know about that. But what I would say, Dean Willoughby's with us.
Say again, sorry, mate.
Dean Willoughby's with us. Just saying hi to us. Good to see Dean. But yeah, I mean, when you think about it, when Cunningham retired at Saints, and of course he got that statue, which let's be fair, isn't the greatest likeness of him, but that's another story, isn't it? But
it's more like me than Kieran Cunningham. Isn't a great selling point.
But everybody was, Cunningham was a quality player, absolute quality player for Saints, and Roby, of course, was his understudy, and you can't learn off a better player than Kieran Cunningham. But I don't think anybody would have expected that back-to-back Saints would have had two hookers of that quality.
Well, two of the greatest hookers in the British game, without a doubt, world game in the world.
Absolutely.
I don't think he never went to the NRL, Roby, did he?
No, he didn't.
And that's where sometimes I think the running the seasons at the same time, Aussie in winter and the British game in summer, sometimes players like Roby would have had the chance in when before Super League to go and play his trade for a couple of seasons in the off season in Australia, and I think that's what a lot where the English game suffers now, or the British game suffers, because he's not that experience that players have of British players going over there to Australia, and then Australian players coming over here.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the drawbacks that's one of the drawbacks of summer rugby. I think that players have to make a decision.
It'd be frowned upon though, mate, wouldn't it, in terms of, player welfare and all that. I see your point the way it used to be, but
There was Mal Meninga playing for St Helens in 1984, was it? I think sure Saints fans will correct me if I'm wrong on there. But seeing the likes of Mal Meninga and Sterling coming over and playing for British clubs was brilliant. It drew the crowds in. And now players had the chance to go and, Mike Gregg went down under it and players like that. I think Alan Bateman, Jonathan Davis did.
Yeah.
Got the experience of playing.
Yeah.
And I think that's possibly one of the reasons that the British game is suffering internationally.
Yeah, you might not be wrong. You might not be wrong, mate. But like I say, stellar career. He's not quite put the curtain down on it just yet. He'd love to go out with another grand final win in the way St Helens are playing. You wouldn't back against him doing that, right? A few comings and goings then. Staying with St Helens, see that Lewis Dodd has extended. He's going to be remaining a Saint. That's good for Saints.
And it's also good for the lad must have been a little unsure about what his future held after getting that injury.
Yeah.
A good. It's a good show of loyalty from Saints to Lewis Dodd. It's good that they're standing by him. Yeah, I like that. That's a good thing.
Yeah, nice signing. Going across to Wigan, Kai Pearce-Paul continues to be linked to the RL, albeit Matt Pete says he will remain at Wigan next season as he's contracted.
Yeah, I've read that.
Ethan Havard and, of course, Liam Byrne have committed, which is, I think, still no word on Oliver Partington yet. A lot of rumours saying that he could be Warrington bound, but then again...
Liam Farrell signed an extension.
Liam Farrell, 3 years. I mean, to be fair, you talk about loyalty and clubs repaying a player. There's a lot of people who were quite surprised that it was a 3-year contract extension based on the fact, taking his age into account. But you know what? Like a Roby, Farrell, he's showing no signs of slowing down, and it's a nice touch.
Yeah, Farrell's getting better. He's not. Yeah, there's no slowing down in Farrell. He's season on season he improves.
Yeah, class, mate. Class. 100%.
So, and it's good to see that loyalty as well.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. And again, just about the Partington one to Warrington. Paul Vaughan and Josh Maguire this week. Paul Vaughan. I mean, all right. There was if you remember, Paul Vaughan was basically involved in controversy, as most Aussies that come across tend to be. He breached COVID. Of course, he was the team captain. He breached COVID.
Both did it. I think Maguire did as well.
Yeah, they both. Yeah, obviously, but let's not beat about the bush on this one. Paul Vaughan is a world-class prop forward.
And an ex-Aussie international state of origin.
Yeah.
Absolute monster of a man.
Yeah. If that rumour is true, that's massive.
I've heard it's a done deal.
Yeah, I'm even the same.
It's Dufty that's the one that's the deal that's up in the air at the minute still.
Well, I think with the emergence of Pulis, Conor Wrench, I can understand that, quite frankly. I think the salary cap going, Duffy, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather see him give Pulis a chance at full back.
It's got a signing that inspires me from what I've seen of him in the NRL, if I'm being honest. And if they're going to play him at half back to replace Widdop, what's wrong with Riley Dean? Let's give Riley Dean a go.
Yeah, Riley Dean. Well, I think Riley Dean should be recalled, quite frankly, because let's be fair, at the moment, our half-backs are not pulling up any trees. So I think Riley Dean should be.
I can't do any worse.
So, well, I'm saying nothing, but yeah, it's
exactly. But I couldn't do any worse.
It's disappointing, isn't it? Also saw that Tyrone May has extended at the Catalan Dragons. That one's been announced.
Rumours again flying around in the last couple of hours that Stefan Ratchford could be joining Saints on loan till the end of the season. That came left field. It's been countered by other rumours that he's signed a 1-year extension at Warrington, but that was something that took me by surprise. Why Saints would want Ratchford?
Well, I mean, with the Dodd one, it gives them a degree. I mean, it probably gives them a degree of flexibility. A party's not been. They haven't been able to rely on him.
Yeah, it could only be as cover rather than a start.
Well, that's it. Well, you think a party's been in and out of the squad with injury all season. They know they've lost Dodd for the season. By bringing Ratchford in, it gives you options around Wellesby. But I do think Wellesby will stay in the house.
How true that rumour is, I don't know. It's just something that flashed up on social media about half an hour ago.
Well, all I would say, I mean, if Ratchford goes to St Helens, I mean, again, you're right, it's been counted by an extension, but if Ratchford goes to St Helens, Cooper's been announced, Ratchford then going, there's a massive clear out going on, and it does make you question what's got, makes you wonder what's going on. But anyway, let's crack on. Anybody else that you can think of? I'm just thinking, anybody else that?
Well, obviously, and I don't want to dwell on Warrington because we were a rugby league, not a Warrington site, but Magoulias being released with immediate effect.
Yeah, and also Latelli at Huddersfield. There are rumours that he wants to go back to the NRL at the end of the season, which will be.
Well, I'd heard rumours that he'd been snapped up by an NFL club early this week, so that there may be some truth to that one.
Still no word on Chris McQueen at Huddersfield. I don't know if Joel can help us on that one. We've heard nothing on in terms of Chris McQueen this week. I don't know if you have. In terms of his albeit great try, we'll see at the minute. Oh, he's on fire. He's on fire. He's our Chris. We like a bit of Chris. Jacob Miller still continuing to be linked with a move away from Wakefield. Wigan continue to be the rumour on that one.
Well, I've heard.
St Helens as well.
Yeah, but I think there are certain clubs that are always going to be linked with certain players, Warrington included. But the Billy Magoulias one, he's taken a lot of flack on social media and taking a lot of flack, I think, without anybody knowing the real circumstances. Nobody knows the real circumstances.
Well, they don't, and I actually think, I think for me personally, the fact that Harrison come back for the reserves, of course you saw that, I saw that. I saw the full game on the Wire TV, and he looks a player. The lad, he looks a player, and if they can get him match fit, I would see him slotting in at loose forward. I think he'll start at loose forward.
2 weeks. I think he might start against Hull.
I wouldn't be surprised. He looks a unit. The lad, he looks a unit. Mayu to Cass, Steve Wilson saying.
Who's that?
Steve Wilson of Hull FC fame. He's saying Mayu to Cass. Cass Boys Miller says Barry Williams. Also, again, Bevan French. I mean, is he, isn't he? Is the Bonnie and Clyde of Wigan Rugby League? Is it going to be broken up, him and Field?
Which one's Bonnie?
I don't know. They can decide that between the two of them, mate. I won't argue with the one who went. I don't want to argue with either of them. But
they got Bonnie and Clyde, and we got Lowland Hardy.
Yeah, definitely. Let's carry on, mate. Carry on Wire this year. But no, I mean, those rumours persist that perhaps he could be heading that way. I also, who else today? I heard somebody go into Cass as well to Widdop to Cass. But is Miller as well? Not Miller. Who is it? I saw something fleeting today that who?
No, not Truman. Sorry, he's going to Hull.
No, Truman's going Hull, isn't he? Is it Hull?
Yeah.
But no, I saw a link to Castleford. It might have been Miller. Might have been Miller also, as well as Wigan being linked with Cass.
Could well have been.
I think it might have been Miller as well. But anyway, it's lots of people extended at the moment, which is good to see. We're retaining some good talent. Pleased for Tyrone May. I mentioned Tyrone May a minute ago. Box office Tyrone. I like Tyrone May. He's a good player, and I think the fact that we're going to have him in Super League for another season. I think same with Mitchell Pearce, as the season's been progressing, they've just been coming into their own.
And no Drinkwater. You think when Drinkwater gets injured, that might not be bad.
Mate,
Tyrone
May. Phil Clark in that commentary. Phil Clark, Catalan, no pace. What planet was he on?
The best one was 3 weeks ago. Phil Clark was all over Frank Cassiano saying, "You don't get past this lad. He signs for Warrington, and suddenly on Saturday, run at Cassiano. He's got no defence." Make it a bit more obvious, Phil.
Oh, mate, Phil Clark. Phil Clark is the gift that keeps on giving with his River Island front of shop.
But when I texted you, didn't I? As Phil Clark really just said, Catalans have got no pace.
Oh, mate, and not just that. What was the other one now? Because at the start of the game, didn't they say that?
That Wakefield had won 2 games at the weekend.
It's embarrassing, isn't it? It's absolutely embarrassing.
Ben Pro, I mean, he sounds like a toddler on Skittles.
I tell you, when we get into the highlights, I mean, it's a couple of interesting calls as well. A couple of forward passes not given, I think, last week.
Was it the Salford Wigan game?
Yeah, we'll have a look in a minute. There's some, but I have to say, some phenomenal tries. There's one in there. For the purists, a runaround. Oh, it was a beauty. It was a fingered beauty. A little runaround. And I think it was for Adjahar. These tries are coming, of course, for Adjahar's, where there was 2 offloads in simultaneous offloads.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. Yeah. We'll get to him. We'll get to him. Barry Williams, our Wakefield man here, or Mike Ward's jumping in, or Phil Clark. He's calling him a dinosaur. He's obviously liking the fact we're giving Mr. Clark a bit of stick. Barry Williams back in. Tom Johnson maybe still up for grabs from the fans on Sunday. I mean, yeah, it's gone a bit cold. It's got a bit cold, that room as a cattle, hasn't it? Tom Johnson.
Well, he was
a bit cold
originally, and then Warrington, obviously.
He's injury, mate. He's injury prone. He's like Greg Eden. When they play, quality. Absolute quality, dangerous, but they're just injury prone. And that's it. And I mean, the thing with Tom Johnson going off the last 2, maybe 3 seasons, and including this season, probably playing half a game, missing half the games.
And the concussion thing for me is a big.
That is the big thing, isn't it?
It's a big question.
Yeah, it is.
The guy can't help it. He hurts his head a lot. He gets concussion a lot. It's one of those things, Yeah.
So I never thought I'd hear you quote a Bananarama song, but anyway, there you go.
I heard a rumor.
No, I can't help it. But anyway, that's another story. I can't help it. Anyway, in the break, go and treat yourself on your iPad. We know you used to like it.
I know Bananarama.
You didn't know Bananarama well. Do you know what? Not a rugby league topic. I never knew that the dark-haired girl at Bananarama was married to Andrew Ridgeley.
Karen, it broke my heart.
Tell you what, he did well, didn't he? Did very well. Good lad. Well played. Anyway, enough of 80s nostalgia.
Broke my heart when I found out that. That's why I went bald deliberately.
Mate, hope for everybody. Mate, there's hope for everybody there, isn't there? Andrew, if you're watching, good evening to you.
Karen,
even more so if Karen's watching, good evening to you. Absolutely. Anyway, right, so round 15, we're going to get into a bit of round 15, but before we do, let's take a quick look, as we always do, at the top performers of round number 15. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. Here they come. The top performers around number 15, a couple of players in there, showing up a couple of times. Great week for Bevan French. Great week also for Paul McShane at Castleford Tigers. A fine display from Paul McShane. And whilst we were watching that, ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Freddie McGilvery is with us, the uncle of the big man himself on the wing at Huddersfield. Freddie, good evening to you, sir. Another win for the mighty Giants. I said last week, I fancied the Giants. I do not see the Giants slipping out of that top 4, and another quality performance they delivered again, which we'll take a look at in a moment. Freddie, Freddie's feeling good. I don't think Tracy and Steve are going to be feeling good though. Without Connor. I'm going to be careful what I say because we're next. I'm going to be careful what I say. We're next, but I do worry for top 6 now. For Hull, he looked a bit rudderless, didn't he?
Josh Griffin got a ban as well.
Yeah, he's a good player. Took his try well, Griffin, didn't he? Anyway, let's get into the action, sir. Let's get into the action.
Indeed, I shall raise a glass to that, sir.
Indeed, yes. Josh Griffin, phenomenal. We like a bit of Griffin, don't we? We do. We absolutely do. Right. Okay. Let me just get ourselves ready for the action. Here we go. So on we go. As always, we do not get anything from doing this show, as everybody already knows. We do it for the pure love of the game. Steve Wilson is agreeing. Very poor, mate, is what he's saying. And we haven't even got to All FC yet. I bet Lewis Murphy's great tackle broke your hearts, boys. It was a phenomenal tackle, mate. I do think an informed George Williams handles that situation far better. But anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Pass to Thewlis. Oh, my God.
Mate's right, mate.
The game was over. The game was over.
Same against Leeds, Warrington breaking through, panicking, not, just, if that's a Saints, that's a Wigan, they're under the sticks, mate.
We call him Agent Williams in our house.
Well, he's got to get going as our George. Anyway, these were the games of round 15. Of course, Huddersfield Giants taking on the Leeds. Oh, they must have loved that game. The Huddersfield fans, big scout there over the arch.
Why wasn't this on TV?
God knows. Salford taking, of course, on Wigan Warriors. Thought Wigan were class, I have to say. Wigan, we said at the start of the season, and they continue to impress. The Field Bevan French combo working a treat.
Magical.
Dragons, of course, taking on Hull FC. The Saints going up against KR. Great game, that one. A really good, tight game. Wakefield, Warrington. Yeah, in fact, all the Sunday games were tight. Wakefield, of course, Warrington tight, as was Toulouse, Castleford. So let's get into the action. We're going to actually start with up Uncle Freddie. Here we go. The Huddersfield Giants against the Leeds Rhinos. Man of the match on this went to Chris McQueen. I will bow to the opinions of people who watched the entire game live. Better attendance, 6,712 to be celebrated.
Yeah, attendances have been a discussion point this week. They've been down across the board, though.
Yeah, but up at Huddersfield, and that's pleasing to see.
Joel saying, is that because of the Leeds contingent, or did
possibly
fans come to see that? Huddersfield viewers would like to let us know.
Yeah, possibly. Good to see Will Price back. Good to see Will Price playing well. What I would say, Joel here. Joel's just gone in. Like I say, he is a Huddersfield fan. Says it was an epic game. This had to be on TV. Everyone at the ground asked why it wasn't. Full of energy and fire from the fire from the fireworks. Ha ha is what he's saying. There's Will Price. Good hands. Price La Jolla there. Good hands. Really good.
That's clever, and that's even cleverer.
Yeah. Let's tell you, mate.
And a good finish.
Great finish, mate. Great finish. Ollie Wilson should have been man of the match. Joel, I will bow to your better judgment on that one. But I mean, this is that for me is very, very reminiscent of the good old days when it was Morley and Hodgson and that run on the arch. Very, very potent. Really, really good stuff.
Some good finishes. Some real good finishes in that corner.
Great finishes. This is a try.
Look at that.
I mean, that's a great try. McQueen, what a season this lad's having. I mean, a lot of people saying that he should be in and around the England squad. I will go on record again. Completely disagree. I don't think this ancestry bit really winds me up. I have to say.
You know what though? A second row of Farrell and McQueen.
Quality, mate. Absolutely, quality. But I just don't agree with it. I never will. That's a forward. That was forward for me. I mean, obviously the game, it doesn't matter in the scheme of things, but it was a forward pass all day long, that one for me. Yeah. This was nice twinkle toes there from Latelli, that. He's a slippery character, isn't he? He's got good feet.
I mean, we've praised him all season, Latelli. They've got some.
Yeah. Josh Jones here. I mean, that's poor defence, isn't it?
But he's a big lad.
It's a great try. I mean, you've got to give him his due. It's a great try, but it's poor defence.
Sleeping on the job there, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but all in all, Huddersfield there, you guys, you've got to be delighted. And what I'm liking, I mean, Freddie's going in forward by miles. Stop being greedy, Freddie. You won 30 points to 16. I can say that.
He was. I mean, I know Tom Brady's
greedy, sir.
But that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was absolutely shocking. But you know what? I'm delighted. I like, we've always said this. Got a lot of respect for Huddersfield supporters. Got a lot of respect for Huddersfield as a club. And what I'm even more happy about is the quality of the rugby league that they're actually playing. Yeah. This is not. The table isn't lying. Absolutely deserve to be where they are. And you know what? If they carry on, if they can remain injury-free, come the business end of the season, I'll tell you what, massive dark horse. Dark horse.
And I'll hark back to last season when we first started doing this. I tipped them as my dark horses. And they let me down a little bit last season.
Yeah. You are a bit of a poison chalice, sir.
Yeah. That's it, Leeds this season.
Exactly. Everybody, the start of next year, everybody's going to be like that. Don't pick my team.
I'm like Phil Clark. Phil Clark deliberately picks Warrington at the beginning of every game because he knows if he does, he'll get beat.
Every season, Phil Clark picks Warrington so he can laugh at them at the end of the season. He's an absolute weapon, isn't he? Anyway,
Good evening, Phil. If you're watching.
Good evening, Phil. Love the get up, sir. But
I don't know who he's sponsored by, but blimey.
But anyway, let's make him happy.
I think he's Gus Catalogue in Wigan.
Let's make him happy if he is watching. Steve Wilson, totally agree. Huddersfield playing some really good rugby league. Absolutely, Steve. It's all about celebrating great rugby league. That's what it's about. Regardless of your colours, you've just got to pat pat on the back. Right, Wigan Warriors taking on Salford Red Devils. Poor attendance for this one. Bevan French second half masterclass. Him and Field when they get it on, they are quite a combination. They're looking impressive, Wigan, aren't they?
They are. And at the beginning of the season on predictions, I toyed with putting Wigan second, where I thought they might have needed just another season to gel. They've proved me wrong. There's a surprise.
Mike Ward's just come in. Phil Clark is sponsored by Primark. Quality.
Hey,
that was a good pass.
Primark.
That was a good pass there from Marshall.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
good pass that. Harry Smith, mate, he's doing well. Really pleased for Harry Smith.
He's growing into the game again. He had a bad. Look at that!
Forward that, mate.
Forward that. You don't see that forward in the NFL.
I know. It was a shock. Like I say, quite a few forward passes. Steve Wilson's getting giddy here. He wants Bevan French at Hull. Don't blame you, mate. He's a quality player.
Oh, there is rumours, isn't there?
Massive rumours,
mate. There is rumours that
Marshall took that well.
He's a great finisher. He's a great
mate. Over the last 3 or 4 rounds, including the chat, he's probably the in-form winger of Super League at the moment, Liam Marshall.
We questioned if his foot goes out. His foot obviously goes out to the field of play and he runs back in. Yeah, should that have been disallowed if he runs back into the field of play?
No, as long as he's in, to my knowledge, no. No, he hasn't gained
maybe somebody who's got more knowledge of that than us could let us know. If he runs out the field of play and comes back in and scores, I'm sure they said something in commentary about.
Don't know. It's a new one on me. It's a new one on me. I don't know. But I'd say he took it well. 10 tries now.
We'll clear that up.
10 tries now for Marshall.
Yeah.
10 tries. This was a great run. Look at that.
You just know what's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, this for me is quality. And what I like here is look at that there. Look at Field, beautiful. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and then he knows he's got the pace. Off you go. Yeah. There, if George Williams is watching, that's how you do it, son.
Exactly.
Absolutely perfect, brilliant rugby league. Yeah.
Again, I stood up and applauded when he scored that. I'm not a Wigan fan by any stretch of imagination, but sometimes you just have to stand up and say, "Well done, sir."
Another try from the scrum. We're seeing a few of these this year. Again, defence is sleeping on the job, I would say. But a good finish, absolutely. But we're seeing a couple of those this year.
That's what tries were all about. That's what scrums were all about. Scrums were there to open up the field for the backs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I still would say we should bring back contested scrums.
Oh, well, the good old days.
No,
the good old days. Yeah,
three punch-ups and then a try.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Getting up close and personal in the scrum.
Yeah.
Always good sport, wasn't it? Always good sport. Yeah. But I mean, Wigan. I mean, Breers is. I mean, nobody's denying it either. I think Breers has had a massive impact on the strike of Wigan. Massive impact. And it does make you, as a Warrington fan, it does make you a little bit disappointed that he wasn't retained, because
somebody said something, or I read something very interesting. I think it was either on a fans forum or a social media post, that it's a cultural thing. When Lee Breers was at Warrington, he looked like he was homeless. He's gone to Wigan. Smarted himself up.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, it's called mate. It's called professionalism, mate. That's what it's called.
Pride, professionalism, and it's coming through in the Wigan attack.
But when you've got a CEO though, mate, who walks around the Warrington Wool shop wearing Bermuda shorts, you've got problems. But that's another story. That's another story. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I say, never in doubt. I mean, good finish there from Dion Cross, but I mean, the game was over at this point. Bevan French, superb second half.
I thought Dion Cross played quite well, Oh, yeah, a decent game.
I was disappointed in Salford. I think Salford are better than the performance they put out. I mean, here's Lafay. I like Lafay. He's a good player. But yeah, I just think Salford on the night, they didn't do themselves justice. They're better. They've got better. Saying that, you can argue that for the season. They've got better players than to perform like this. I mean, I recall when they played Wigan earlier in the season, they were sensational. Yeah, all right, they lost it, but they were sensational. Just really poor. But
don't
Wigan,
take that away from Wigan, though. Wigan,
mate.
Minutes
you know, it pains me to say it, but Wigan, you can't be anything but impressed. No. With the way Wigan are playing. They've got strike all over the field. Field and Bevan French. I think it's vitally important they stay fit. I think if they stay fit, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. We talked about Huddersfield as dark horses, and I think Huddersfield are a dark horse. And we saw that in the Challenge Cup final. Huddersfield can mix it with anybody. Get Chris Hill back fit, happy days. But in terms of genuine, not dark horse title contenders, people were maybe not thinking Wigan would be in that mix, but I think they're firmly in that mix now.
I think at this moment in time, they are the only team that could probably beat St Helens at this moment in time in a grand final.
Well, maybe not. I mean, obviously the Dragons went there last year. They've got back again. They've had the grand final experience. And you know what? I mean, unlike Mr. Clark, I would have to say that the longer the season goes, we said, very early on, earlier shows in the season, we said that, McNamara was having real difficulty playing a settled team. He had problems with his forwards for a period of time. And now, of course, when Drinkwater went out, Tyrone May he's now getting to the party. But, when Drinkwater went out initially, there's a little bit of ruckus there. It just seems to be settling down now at the Dragons. And actually, I don't think the Dragons, and I'll be interested to get Steve and Tracy's view on this. I mean, I know they'll say all FC were poor, but I don't think the Dragons got enough praise for this performance. I actually think that we're starting to see a Catalan Dragons team now that's
my words, Dave, though, if Wigan were to play Saints in the grand final now, I think Wigan would win at this moment in time.
Ooh, no wonder we've not got many Saints fans in the Super League.
No, it's nothing against Saints. I just feel that Wigan have got a spark at this moment in time.
I agree with me.
Buoyed by the Challenge Cup win.
Yeah.
If the grand final was today, I would say Wigan will win.
Well, Tracy Wilson here saying the Dragons played them off the field. We're going to see it now. Joel going in. A great thing about League this year is that you don't look at Saints and think no one can touch them. The battle is on until the end. I hope you're right, Joel. That's exactly what Warrington won't be contesting the grand final, but whoever does contest that grand final, probably with Saints. But I say that, anything can happen in playoff rugby league. As long as we have a really, really competitive end to the season, I'll be happy. Right, let's take a look at this Catalan Dragons performance then. Starting off with our old friend, Mr. Mike McMeekin. A lovely little body swerve here for the first try. Really like this. Do like Mike McMeekin. He's got to be said. He's a player. He's a player, the lad.
He's and can play prop and second row now. I mean, last season he played mostly at prop, didn't he?
It started this season. He played a lot of games at prop. I think for the first maybe 8 or 9 rounds, but now he's back and I do think he's a better second rower. I think he can do this. He can score tries. That's a great run. You think for such a big fella that body swerve there when he got that ball. In fact, it is a thing of beauty. Let's take a look at it again. This little but there, that little swerve there for such a big lad. That's a cracking turn of pace and
very reminiscent. I can't even say the word.
Reminiscent.
Very reminiscent. Thank you. Of Trent Waterhouse in his pomp.
Yes. Yeah, and similar stature as well. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
Absolutely, that movie reminded me of Trent Waterhouse.
Yeah,
before his Warrington days, obviously.
No, he played all right for Warrington, did our Trent? I think he took, like with Matt King, it took him a while to get going, but he got going in the end, and he was a fine player. Oh, look at this here! Look at this here! One offload. Oh. 2 offload. Oh, that's a lovely try, that, isn't it? Hey, you'd be disappointed if you were the defending team, but that was nice. That was
Whitley
nice.
Again. Whitley played well.
He's having a great season, mate. He's having a great season.
Strength. Look at that for strength.
Superb, mate.
Did our friends from Hull go to the game?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm sure they'll come back. Hey, Graham Parrish is with us. Hey, Graham, how are you keeping, sir? No halfbacks, no leader on the field. He's saying Sean Allen Spencer's with us as well. Here we go again.
Right, Sean.
Hey. He's a good lad. good to have Sean with us. But yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Nice.
It was a tight one, but I think he probably got that right.
Came off his knee.
Yeah. No comment on a certain rugby league football club. Oh, come on, Sean. Lose gracefully. We do. We're Warrington fans. We're used to this. Remember the Wilderspool days? Come on. It's all good. It's all good fun.
Not a lot else we can do, but lose.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're not biased on this show. We're watching quality rugby league here by the Catalan Dragons. If we're not seeing it in our own place, enjoy it at other people's. Here comes Mr. Josh Griffin. Look at this. Yeah. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Oh, it's a great try, that.
Great strength and poor defence.
Yeah, I like Josh Griffin. I like Josh Griffin a lot. Really, really good player. Fantastic to see.
That was a cheeky try.
Yeah.
That was a purist's try, that one.
Yeah, good player, Langy, isn't he? I like Langy. He's a good player. He's probably going to play at the weekend as well, I would have thought, in one of the centres, in one of the centre positions. Yeah. We'll get to that a little bit later. We'll have a chat about that. Sean here, not old enough for Wilderspool. Well, you don't know what the dark days were, and you don't know how good it was, mate. You don't know how good it was. Hey, it's iconic. Those old stadiums, Knowsley Road, Wilderspool, Central Park. Oh, mate, they were the days. Hey, great, good. Look at that from Mitchell Pearce. Beautiful.
Again.
Beautiful. Right. Do you know what? It'd be rude not to. Let's do it again. What a lovely little try this is from Mitchell Pearce. We do like this one. Do like this a lot.
A lot of luck.
Look, he's took 3 players out there. That's an absolute beautiful step. It's a beautiful step. Thing of beauty. Love it. Yeah, and they haven't got pace, Catalan, mate. Just to let you know.
No, Phil Clark no
pace at all.
Yeah, well, look how slow that is.
Yeah, Tyrone there going in. There's no pace there. No pace at all. But
run it Frank Cassiano. He's got no defence. Okay. All right, Phil. Mate. After you, son.
I'm sorry, Tracy and Sean, Tracy and Sean. What am I about here? Tracy and Sean. Tracy and Steve. Sean. Got Sean in my head because he's that Wilderspool comment. Shocking. But a comprehensive win. It has to be said, by Catalan, who are coming good. Makes for an exciting end to the season as they get going. Just a quick one there. You'll see it advertised as a really, really good video on YouTube. It's about half an hour long. James Roby, 455 appearances for Saints. Well worth a watch. Really worth a watch. Yeah, we'll give that a promotion. Well worth a watch. So, when we're finished tonight, if you're not quite asleep, maybe watch.
What you trying to say? I know, Dave, I know I'm dull, but come on.
Right, anyway, speaking of Saints, there he is. There's the man of the moment, Mr. James Roby. 455. Nice words coming out from Kevin Sinfield along the lines of, if somebody was going to beat my record, it couldn't be a nicer guy.
Again, Kevin Sinfield showing what a thoroughly decent chap he is.
Yeah, class act, mate. Yeah. Class act. And you know what? I don't know. I've never met James Roby. I will not profess to know a lot about the man. As the player, I think we all respect the player. Don't really know a lot about the man, but actually, a lot of warmth this week has been spoken about James Roby. So, he's obviously a fine fellow, and
he's a great rugby league player. That's all that we need to know.
Yeah, and we'll send him our heartfelt congratulations. It's quite an achievement in what is a brutal sport to notch up 455.
And you know what? Will be very difficult to match and to better.
As Kevin Sinfield said. Indeed. Records are there to be broken.
Right, a long time before this one's broken.
Yeah, Conrad Hull got our man of the match for this one, and for me, deservedly so. Great performance. Look at this from Hull. Look at this. Oh, love it. And then a party back to Makinson, who goes in for number 16 of the season now for Tommy Makinson. Tommy Makinson has now notched up 142 points. The next closest to him is Mark Sneed with 85. Just goes to show what a great season he's having. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's take a look. Is it this one? Is it this one? I think it is this one. Here we go. Is it this one? Is it this one? Sean Kenny Dowell going in. Here we go. Let's see. Now. Is it this one? Is it this one? No, it's not this one. No, it's the Lock. It's coming. It's coming. Stay there. You're going to love it. The purists amongst you are going to love it. But yeah, Sean Kenny Dowell, of course.
Is this the Roby try where he waltzes?
This is Roby, yeah. Oh, okay. Matt Parcell there. He's been done, hasn't he? Matt Parcell has been just devastating.
He was shopping in Mothercare for dummies.
Yeah, I just nipped over the road.
Yeah.
But there's Hull again. Look at Hull again. And the interesting about Hull, yeah, didn't get the praise. This thing about tries and assists, when you actually break a game down, the damage, good offload from Walmsley there.
Yeah. Big Alex
Walmsley. But yeah, big. But Conrad Hall in this game, again, I mean, that's got to be considered perhaps the signing of the season.
Thus far. Do you know what? I don't think there'd be many to disagree with you.
No, he's been unbelievable.
He lost.
Here we go. Is it this one? No, it's still coming.
We're getting there. It's like,
we're coming there.
The tension's building, mate. But Conrad Hall lost his way a little bit at Leeds, I think.
Oh yeah, he was out of shape, mate, that last year.
He lost his way at Leeds, and he's lost a bit of timber, and it'll be interesting to see how far in front of the kicker that was. But he's lost a bit of timber, and he's living up to his potential.
Actually, I don't think it was this game. Was it the Castleford game? Might have been the Castleford game. It might not have been this game. The little run around, but it is Conrad Hall going in for a well-deserved try. Yeah, for me, I'm racking my head. Is there a better signing? So Mitchell Pearce, possibly. Had Cade Cuss not got injured, maybe he'd have given him a run for his money, maybe. But I think for me, I mean, look at that. That's a lovely, Sean Kenny Dowell. Kenny Dowell had a good game. And you know what? Really pleased for Lachlan Coote, going back to the Totally Wicked, had a really strong
and got a great reception by all accounts, which is
rightly
good.
So. Yeah, rightly so. Deservedly so. Disappointing crowd though for Saints, under 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Last weekend of the school holidays. You've got to take these things into account. And another thing that impacts on summer rugby, the school holidays.
Mate, I tell you as well, mate. And I know Darryl Powell's come out. I think Blake Austin's come out today. I love the fact that the Challenge Cup has been brought further, but this has been a dog's dinner this year in terms of the breaks.
Yeah.
I don't quite think they've got it right.
I don't think they quite know how to get it right, and it's a difficult one.
It is, isn't it? I mean, it's very stop-start.
You have a season that runs from September to May.
Yeah.
You have your grand final, then you have your Challenge Cup final.
Yeah, it's very, very stop-start.
You have your very stop-start. We used to have internationals in November.
Yeah. No, it's tough going, mate. And it's like us, isn't it? We like it. It's like when we started the season, we couldn't wait for the season to start. There's nothing better than every week getting watching the games and getting going. It's just this last 2 months, it's been a really, really stop-start, and it doesn't help the game. Doesn't help attendances because people find other things to do, don't they?
They did. It's one of the things that I think was one of the worst thought out aspects of changing to summer rugby. I spoke before about the loss of opportunities for English British players to go down under and Australian stars to come and guest for Super League teams. And I think, as we've said before, the Challenge Cup final was always the jewel in the crown.
Yeah.
You won the league, and then the week after, and it was always a week before the Challenge, before the FA Cup final, I always remember. It was something to look forward to. And we've lost that thing where fans from all clubs descend on Wembley and fill Wembley because it's lost that little bit of magic.
Well, I mean, we shared the stream of the Maurice Lindsay funeral, which I thought was very well done. Nice touch as well. The Challenge Cup was there, on the altar next to his coffin, and I thought that was a nice touch. I thought Chris Radlinski's eulogy was a nice touch as well. I thought he did a lovely job of that. But as I was watching that stream myself, it did take you back to that era, and we had the view of Wigan at the time in the 80s, and was it good for the game? Was it not good for the game? And people had the views on Maurice Lindsay as well. But one thing's for certain, that was probably the last 80s, probably 90s. I would go as far as to say where that, as you were saying, the Challenge Cup had a mystique about it. It was majestic. It was the Challenge Cup, and people waited for it. All the fans, regardless of your colours, went and watched it. And you're right, for whatever reason, we're losing it. And we're not football. The Challenge Cup is not the League Cup in football. The Challenge Cup's the Challenge Cup. And you know what we don't want is what's happened in football, like the FA Cup. You talk there about the FA Cup. When we were kids, the FA Cup started at 9:30 on BBC One and went right through the day. The Challenge Cup.
If your team wasn't in the FA Cup final or the Challenge Cup,
you sat and watched it.
You were devastated, but you sat and watched it and you enjoyed
it. I mean, I'll be honest. I went the Challenge Cup finals. I didn't go to FA Cup final. I went the Challenge Cup finals, regardless of who was there. I think I went something like 9 on the spin, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
But you know, we've seen what's happened with the FA Cup. We can't allow that to happen to the Challenge Cup. Just can't allow it.
There's a common denominator, and it's Sky. Sky have diminished the competitions that they don't have the rights for.
Yeah, it's a good shout, mate. It's a good shout.
That's what they've done, and that's where there needs to be something done at some level to say you've got to stop now.
Yeah, great shout.
You're a common denominator in the devaluing of our domestic competitions. Whether it's the Challenge Cup final, the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Sky have got the League Cup final, whatever it's called now. Caribou Cup.
Yeah.
And that gets more coverage and more kudos than the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And at some point, somebody's got to say stop.
Yeah. A lot of people supporting what we're saying here, mate. Steve Wilson say Sky's killing the game. Steve Carter's just come in. You know, the FA Cup was always the final game of the season. They brought it further into the season, and it's diminished it. And it's it's Challenge Cup. You know, Challenge Cup for me. We as rugby league fans, we've got to get behind it again. We've got to go and support it again, and we've got to. It's a wonderful trophy. I mean, it's a wonderful trophy. It's history, and it's something that the Aussies don't have. And
exactly. I remember speaking to Brian Johnson when because I obviously covered a lot of matches a long time ago for Warrington. And I remember speaking to Brian Johnson when we got through to the semi-finals in 1990 or 89 or 90. And he said, it's a strange thing. We don't have this in Australia. We win 4 games. We win 4 or 5 games. And we're champions of a competition. And he couldn't quite get his head around it.
No.
And it's something that we praise the NRL, and it's something that they don't have. They don't have a separate cup competition for their elite teams, at least. And would there be an issue with having a Challenge Cup final in the middle of October after the grand final?
I don't know, mate. All I know is that it's a wonderful trophy. It's history, and all of us need to get behind it. Speaking of getting behind it, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this evening, please do get into the habit of sharing when you're watching it. Yes. Make sure you press your share button so that all your friends who perhaps are rugby league supporters find Super League Raw. It's quite interesting. So I was doing my day job today in in the Highton area, and there was a couple of gentlemen in the room, and I just happened to mention Super League Roy. Actually, I thought I recognised you. Happy days. So it's all good fun, isn't it?
Well, like I say, last week it's Harrywell Jones. I got a fan come up to me and congratulate me on the show. I don't know whether he heard me last week, but he tunes in every week. I didn't grab his name. I do apologise, but if that was you and you're watching.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know. It'd be good to say hello to you.
Make
sure you share.
King said before the whole game, we may buy you a pint.
Buy you a pint, absolutely. Yes, Hull next Friday, of course. We will be there. But everybody, please do press your share button and put a little, put your old post. Get in on this. Good night. What else are we going to do? Watch England against Hungary? Who wants to do that? Let's talk rugby league. Let's have a bit of fun. Right, Wakefield Trinity took on the Warrington Wolves.
I've seen a bit.
Yeah. Wakefield want to play Warrington every week. It was a great game. It was back in 2. But Warrington, I think Powell said it. I saw Carl Amor on Sky this afternoon. He said Warrington just seems to have lost the art of winning games. But nip and tuck. Warrington, unbelievable. Warrington got ahead. Then Wakefield hit back, carried on like that right until the death. And of course, Wakefield got the final.
As I said at the top of the show, how can you not be behind in a game for 78 minutes and then lose it?
I had a feeling. I listened to the whole commentary on GMR. Batchelor had a great game. I was sick of hearing his name. Sick of hearing Batchelor's name, mate.
That's just amateur.
It is poor, mate. Stefan Ratchford's defence in this game was shocking on the bits I saw. Really, really poor. And you're right. I mean, Ashton there, and would it made up for it here with a, you know, on the outside as well. Poor, on the outside shoulder. You don't see many of them, mate.
This was Chuckle Brothers rugby. To you, to me, to me. It was. It was,
wasn't it?
It was like,
so, yeah.
You know, when you used to play football in the playground as a kid, they'd score and you'd score, and they'd score and you'd score. It was like that.
I mean, no disrespect to. I mean, that's just too easy. It's too easy. And I think the thing about Wakefield, and I'd be interested to get your Wakefield fans. Warrington scored a try, and then they squandered possession straight away after. They just kept inviting Wakefield in, and fair play to Wakefield. Fair play to Wakefield. They hung in there, and did the job at the end. Again, there with it, you know, good to see Connor. We've got a lot of time for Connor Wrench. He's going to be a great player. He's going to be a great player, this lad. No question about that.
But Dave, we scored a try and allowed the ball to bounce into touch from the restart. That is amateur.
And not just that.
That's not just that. To amateur rugby. It is. It's not even schoolboy rugby.
There's Batchelor. There's Batchelor going back in. I tell you what I found absolutely deplorable. So you've got 2 minutes to go. You need the ball back, and Gareth Widdop puts a slow one. I don't know if he was going to good run this from Matt Ashton. Don't know if he was trying to go for touch or what, but doesn't put it up in the air. He just puts a low one, and it goes straight to Fafita. He picks it up and runs, and you're like, hang on, we've got 2 minutes here. You've got to put it up in the air, and he just didn't. And it's just like, whoa, honestly, unbelievable.
Poor game management.
That's the word, mate. That is the word. Game management. I mean, again, here, Warrington there, taking men out, as it were. It's, that's poor. It's just poor. Liam Hood, fair play to Liam Hood. He saw the opportunity and he took it. I mean, here we go. George Williams here. I mean, first of all, lovely step. But come on, you've got to score. You've got to score.
Yeah, that's a great tackle. It's a great tackle.
That is a match-winning tackle.
And then he drops the ball.
Yeah. It's a match-winning tackle. That an absolute match-winning tackle. And then, of course, the final try. It's just laughable. It's laughable. This from a defensive point of view is poor. Yeah. Really poor. I mean, look at that. 3 players.
3.
It's just it's just defensively. I mean, again, the league table doesn't lie. Worst, other than Toulouse, by a country mile, the worst defensive record in the league.
And Daryl Powell said it's all right because we actually went up a position.
Mate, look, luckily it is, for any team on 10 points, it's still game on. And it is still game on, albeit the standard of rugby that Warrington are playing, we're a long way off, a hell of a long way off. But, it's the old adage, mate, defence wins matches.
Yeah.
We've conceded 380 points thus far this season.
Maybe we're going for the prize. I don't know. It's taking. I know we've got another match to have a look at and Tigers, but with Warrington, just hold on a sec. Try to take a dispassionate view because we're not a Warrington Rugby League podcast. We talk about rugby league. Taking a dispassionate view of this, trying to look from the outside. I genuinely despair because I think it is down to culture at the club.
It is.
And that's why we haven't won. We're not talking about a team that is a Super League winner and has gone down the pan. We're talking about a team that's not won a championship for nearly 70 years. And when it had a team that was capable of winning the Super League, we still couldn't win it. People go on about our pack being too small.
No.
We couldn't win Super League when we had Adrian Morley and Gareth Carvell and Ashton Sims and Trent Waterhouse.
No.
And when Daryl Powell says the players are getting nervous because of the expectations from the fans, I understand 100% what he means. Mm-hmm. I saw somebody on social media describe Warrington as one of the elite 4. On what planet?
But I think what you've got to look at it, and this is no disrespect to any rugby league team in the comp. At the top of the tree, you've got to say, historically, you've got Wigan, Leeds and Saints. historically.
Yeah.
In terms of, backers, money in the club, Warrington are right up there. We're talking about Huddersfield. Huddersfield, phenomenal, fully deserve it. Brilliant rugby league, brilliant club, like Ken Davey. Think Ian Watson's been fantastic. Players, brilliant, well done Huddersfield. But they do not spend, they do not have a squad that they pay to the level that Warrington pay. No. So with that comes expectation. And it has to come expectation. If Warrington...
We're not talking about a team that is consistently winning Super League and winning titles. We've won, 5 Challenge Cups in the last 12 years. Brilliant.
It's been great, and it's been lovely.
Brilliant. It's been lovely.
And that's it. We can't lose sight of that. It's lovely. It's been brilliant. We've had some really good. We've watched Warrington all our lives. We've had some really good time. And do you know what? I fully back what Powell's doing. I think it's great that the club appear to be backing him.
And I think what my point was, I think the fans need to wake up and realise
and stop being silly on social media.
We are not yet an elite club yet.
We were under Tony Smith. We were under Tony Smith.
We were because we didn't win.
You don't have to. No, you don't have to win a title, mate, to be in the league team. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I think
to be champions, yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I look at. So, for example, when Leeds had the golden generation, they were an elite. The Saints teams that. Was it Saints or Wigan? I think it was Saints. Was it Saints or Wigan that they always beat? The fact it was Saints, wasn't it? I think Saints went on a run.
Yeah, Saints went about 6 on the bounce for that,
something like that. Saints were an elite team. They were just coming up against another elite team. They were quality teams, great rugby league teams, great standard of rugby. On a knife edge, some of those finals could have gone either way. So you go back to the Tony Smith era. The Leeds grand final could have gone either way. The Wigan grand final could have gone either way. At that point,
bottled the grand final.
Well,
there was one where we were bullied out.
Yeah, let's not go back.
Thuggery, but no.
Yeah, let's not go back.
All right, okay. Maybe Tony Smith, we could have been elite, but we're certainly not now. And Warrington, I've heard Warrington fans asking for Moran to resign. Hello, we will be in the championship. Moran pulls his...
but mate, I'm not being funny. And if people who have posted that are watching us now, I make no apology. Pathetic.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. So, it's ridiculous.
But we have to realise that until we do genuinely win the grand final, and I think that's a way off still, that we are not an elite club and we shouldn't expect us to be in a grand final every year. And we have to let Daryl Powell
do what he needs to go
sort the culture out. Yeah. We have got a culture of accepting mediocrity at Warrington, and it has to end.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And if Daryl Powell's the guy to do that, and he does that, and then hands the reins over to somebody else who then takes us to the grand final, like he did with Tony Smith at Leeds, then I'm all up for that.
I'm all for this.
Yeah,
from the outside looking in, I'm all for what's going on.
And that's me being dispassionate. That's me not. I'm screaming inside as a Warrington fan.
I can't tell. Mate. I think
really well. Taking a step back and being dispassionate,
mate. You have to earn the right. You have to earn the right. And at this moment in time, Warrington, I think culturally, and I like the fact that Powell is using that word, cultural. He's going in and he wants to do it his way. And the time to judge Daryl Powell is next season when all these new signings come in, because they're his signings. That will be at that point. The pendulum will have swung. It will be a Daryl Powell squad at that point. And at that point, that is when you judge Daryl Powell. This season, unfortunately, Warrington fans, you're just going to have to suck it up, smile and say, hey ho.
Thank God for Toulouse.
Thank God for Toulouse. Absolutely.
Saying that. Barry McDermott is now saying that Toulouse should not be relegated.
Well, that's just pathetic as well. Pathetic. But anyway, pathetic. Anyway, let's just move on. Let's get on to the the Castleford fans have been patiently for this one. Fight game again. To lose at home, they're no pushover. We've been saying this all season. They've been really competitive at home. Danny Richardson, of course, back in this game for and got man of the match. Disappointing crowd again, just over 3,000. Ollie Ashelbot, good name that, isn't it? I mean, again, poor defence. That's poor defence. Again, to me, giving, just giving.
Wasn't he Wakefield, Ash on ball?
Huddersfield.
Or was it Huddersfield?
Huddersfield, yeah. And, and gone there to play rugby. Credit to him. He knew with La Jolla, he was potentially going to be struggling for a start, and he's gone to Toulouse. And and to be fair, he's probably been one of their better players this season since he's gone over there. So, well done to Ollie Ashley-Bottom. Fair play to the kid.
You're right. This was Chuckle Brothers rugby as well. Again,
it was a tight game, but we want this. As neutrals, you want this. He's there again, man, Matty. Matty, mate, he just keeps cropping up on that left edge, doesn't he?
Wherever he's gone, Matty Russell, he's scored twice.
Right, here we go. It's this one, isn't it? It is this one, isn't it?
I hope so, Dave.
Is it this one? It's either this one or the next one. It's coming. I know it's there somewhere. I just can't remember. It's got to be the Castleford game. It's absolutely wonderful. It's wonderful when it comes. It's not coming now, though, is it? That's poor defense.
Dave, I think you're on the wrong channel.
No, I'm not. I'm sure it's this game, mate. I'm positive it's this game. But again, James Charles there. James Charles there, oh mate. I don't know if you saw that ball at the floor. I think it's this one now. Is it this one?
I hope so for your sake.
I think it's this one. Please be this one. Or else I'm gonna. Here we go.
There we
Oh,
there
it is.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Oh, mate.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Mate.
We got there in the end.
Mate, that just made my heart sing. I'm going to watch it again. That is old school. How many times when we were kids did you see that run around? Oh, look at it. Here we go.
It's David Solomona-esque.
Here we go. Oh, it's a beauty. Oh, love it. Just love it. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's just wonderful.
How we got there?
We got there at the end. We had to wait a long, long time. It was the final try of round 15.
Screaming.
Yeah, but now come on, fans forum that are watching this, come on, tell me, did you not enjoy that run around? Beautiful. It's a thing of absolute beauty. Oh, anyway. I love it. I love this. Every Tuesday, just love it. What? Anyway, wonderful tries. Right, as always, we come to that part of the show now where we're going to announce our Super League Raw Team of the Week for round number 15. So the Team of the Week for round number 15 on its way to you. Here we go. It's the Super League Raw Team of the Week for round number 15. Here we go again. And at full-back, keeping his position week on week, is Lachlan Coote, returning to the Totally Wicked Stadium with a fantastic display against his former employers. Just not quite enough to topple the fantastic Saints. And on the right wing, it will, of course, be the hat-trick hero, Bevan French. Where will he be applying his trade next year? Will it be Hull FC? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But will the Fred and Ginger show between him and Jay Field be maintained at the Warriors? Well, watch this space. At number 3 will be James Batchelor of Wakefield Trinity. 2 very vital tries, keeping Wakefield in the game against the Warrington Wolves. And, of course, went on to win that game too, didn't they? Well done, Mr. Batchelor. And number 4, returning to the Team of the Week, is Conrad Burrell. He was unstoppable and unplayable yet again for St Helens. A try and actually some slight assists as well, albeit he didn't get the final touch, but he was outstanding once more. On the left wing will be Liam Marshall. 2 more tries, taking him to 10 now for the season. Is there a better winger over the course of the last 3 to 4 rounds than Liam Marshall? Perhaps not. In great form, continuing to do the business for Wigan Warriors. At number 6 will be Jacob Miller. He really does turn up when the Warrington Wolves come to town. It was a very, very assured display by Jacob Miller, and of course being linked with the Wigan Warriors for 2023. At number 7, Mitchell Pearce, Greg's tip from Man of Steel, and yet again he was in fine form against Hull FC. A try and 3 assists. A superb performance by the Aussie. At number 8 it will be Jai Whitbread of Wakefield Trinity. Superb performance against the Warrington Pack. Really solid meters, a fantastic display, making his debut here at Super League Raw Team of the Week. Congratulations to Jay. And at number 9, well, it had to be, didn't it? James Roby, 455 appearances now in Super League. And of course, capping it off with a try. He is a legend. He is consistent. He is superb. Well done, sir, as he bows out of Super League in style. At number 10, Alex Wormsley of St Helens, back in the Team of the Week once more. Really starting to do the business once again. A great assist for Morgan Knowles in this game. And again, 120 metres not to be frowned upon. At number 11, well, you may have been expecting Chris McQueen after that superb run, but no, it's his partner in crime, Josh Jones, that we've gone for this week. A very, very good try. Sensational metres. Really good all-round display by Mr. Jones. At number 12, it's Mike McMeekin. We do like him here at Super League Raw. And didn't he take his try very, very well against the Hull FC? He will surely be in the reckoning for the England call this week. And at number 13, capping off our team of the week, will be Benjamin Garcia of the Catalan Dragons. Another fine display by the captain in this game, leading from the front, making sure that Catalan continue their very impressive run of form, keeping pressure on the mighty Saints at the top. Ladies and gentlemen, your team of the week for round number 15. So there it is, the team of the week for round number 15. Reggie, good team, I would say. A good team.
It is Fred and Ginger.
Fred and Ginger, absolutely. Mr. Field and Mr. French.
I'm surprised that McQueen didn't get in there, but
yeah, well,
Josh Jones,
Jonesy, mate.
Out.
Yeah, Jonesy. Yeah, I mean, don't you know, McQueen's try was impressive, and you know, it could have lulled you into a false sense of security that he was the better player on the day. But actually, no, Josh Jones, far more. You know, in terms of all-round performance,
I think
love it. We'll use that. Dynamic, brilliant word. James Batchelor, like I say, wasn't there, but his stats backed it up. All I heard was James Batchelor. He had a phenomenal game against the Warrington Wolves. Hurrell, superb. Marshall, Bevan French, can't really argue with those two. Roby, yeah, maybe a bit of sentiment in there, but you know what? He scored a try and he was as good as anybody else this week, is what I would say. So, you know, why not? Let's give him the nod. And, yeah, you know, Garcia and McMeekin. Still no Morgan Knowles.
Garcia's class act, week in, week out. When he's not injured. He
just,
does
you know,
tend to get injured a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still, you know, unfortunately, you know, Saints fans, sorry, but Morgan Knowles again for me, not in there. He will. He's not made a team of the week yet.
From the England squad, hasn't he? Through injury.
Yeah, he's not made a team of the week this year because actually there's been better loose forward performances every week, albeit I'm not saying that Morgan Knowles hasn't played well. There's just been better loose forward performances in the week, and at the moment he has yet to appear in our team of the week. Willie, there's an interesting one. What odds would you get on that between now and the end of the season? That's the question. Right, let's take a look at what all this does, of course, for the league table. We'll just quickly go back. Here we go. How they stand. Here comes the league, and of course, no surprises. St Helens continue to lead now, a 4-point cushion over the Catalan Dragons. Saints looking in good form indeed for the league leaders shield. Then, of course, the team that's got no pace, Catalan Dragons, coming in on 22 with the with Wigan Warriors.
With that turnstile in defence, Frank Cassiano. Don't forget that.
Let's not forget that. Then, of course, the Warriors fully deserving there in third. Then Huddersfield, a 5-point cushion now between Huddersfield and Hull FC, and fully deserved. Hull FC 16. We've already heard Steve and Tracy on the chat tonight. They're concerned. Are Hull going to be able to maintain their top 6 push, or is the absence of Jake Connor really now going to be their undoing? The fact that Josh Reynolds, I mean, similar to Warrington, really, Josh Reynolds, Luke Gale probably not going to be there next year. Are they?
Not Reynolds.
Are they going to be pulling up any trees for Hull? You know, it's going to be interesting. We always say Hull get off to a great start, and then after the Challenge Cup, they fade away. Connor, massive for him, not going to be there. Interesting. Castleford Tigers then, Hull KR, both on 14.
Hello. What was that?
I don't know. Is that the front door? I don't know.
Like all encounters.
Of the third kind. But yeah, Castleford Tigers, KR. Leeds Rhinos, of course, with 11 points. Then the Wolves, as you say, going up the table despite losing. It's shocking, isn't it? With 10. Very, very tight, though, between Warrington, Salford and Wakefield. Warrington only 296 points in the season thus far. That is just unheard of. And 380 conceded points. Absolutely catastrophic. It's shocking. Anyway.
It's unacceptable is the word.
In other news, okay, the fans forum last week had a shocker again. Huddersfield Leeds, they went Leeds 0-8, come up short. Salford Wigan, they went Wigan 9-17, picked up 2 points. Catalan took on Hull FC, they went for FC by 0-8, and of course got massive custard on the face with that one. Wow. Saints took on KR, they went Saints 9-17, they picked up 2 there. Warrington against Wakey, they went Wakefield 9-17, they picked up 2 there, and they went to lose over Castleford from 9-17 and picked up nothing there. So they only picked up 6 points. Gregory, on the other hand, picked up a magnificent 18. I picked up 11. Get ready for this. Get ready for this. How tight do you want it? It couldn't be any tighter. The fans forum 174. I'm 174. Greg's 173. It couldn't be tighter. It's all to play. And this is why Joel has joined Facebook, because as from next week, Joel will be putting his predictions into the fans forum predictions for the first time. Yes, he going to bring them that sprinkling of gold dust? So keep your eyes peeled on Monday. On Monday, the fans forum we will upload on the fans forum page on Monday all the round 16 games, so that you can tell us how you think round 16 will go. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So in closing tonight, of course, we've got a big game coming up at the weekend. The England team will, of course, play the Combined Nations. Forgive me, I believe these are the squads. Having had the squads announced, I decided to put together possible lineups from the squads that we got, and this is the way I see it. I'd be interested to get your view on it, Greg. For England, no doubt Tompkins will start fullback. He's the captain. Makinson, completely deserving. Amazed to say it, but I just don't see anybody else who's going to play 3. I think it will be Callum Watkins, and actually Watkins has not been in bad form for Salford, and we know that Sean Wayne likes him. So I think Callum Watkins will line up again alongside Jake Wardle in the centre positions, looking at the squad that was picked. Ryan Hall, I think he'll go with Hall, even though I think Matty Ashton would be interesting to see. I do think he will stay loyal, and I think he'll go with Ryan Hall. Wellesby Williams, how Williams is there, I don't know, based on form, but he will be, because again,
it's a mystery, that one to me.
It's Sean Wayne, it is to me as well. Certainly doesn't deserve to be in the side for me personally. Walmsley, without question. I think he'll start with Mickey McAloon. It's Sean Wayne we're talking about. I think he'll start with Mickey McAloon.
I think he will. He's brought him back in after a number of years in the international wilderness, and I think he's done that to start him, because Daz Clark has gone to the Combined Nations.
It's unbelievable. But again, I think that just goes to show again how far Clark's well off the pace this year. Well off the pace. Aletsky, I think he'll start Aletsky. Fowler and McMeekin pick themselves. I think he'll put Bateman at 13. On the bench, McShane, Cooper, Matty Lees, and Joe Batchelor. I think the 3 from Warrington will be the 3 that miss out. I think for me personally, I'd have liked to have seen Matty Ashton just on the wing, but I think he'll stay low with Ryan Hall. Philbin won't get a sniff, and I don't think Ratchford always ends up in and around the squad and then never features. Albeit I think he did last year, maybe, but that's how I see England, mate.
I would not be surprised if Matty Ashton starts instead of Ryan Hall.
I'd like to see it. I think that I think with his pace, he's been Warrington's best player this year. That's my humble opinion. I'd like to see him in there. I just don't. It's Sean Wayne we're talking about. He's got his favourites. I think he'll go with Ryan Hall.
I think Ashton will start on the left at number 5.
Right.
Excuse me. And don't be surprised if Cooper starts ahead of Aletsky.
Maybe. I mean, obviously the forwards are
Cooper
they're interchangeable.
Has been the one shining light in our season.
And let's not forget, he's going to be wearing a Wigan shirt next year, so that'll go in his favour. That'll go in his favour.
And reading what Sean Wayne was saying yesterday, that he hopes to inspire some confidence into the misfiring Warrington players by bringing them into a professional training camp. Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable.
What a damning indictment. Words to that effect. Well, that was my take. That was my reading between the lines of what What's Sean?
Well, I mean, there's no smoke without fire, mate. I think, this has been brewing at Warrington for many years, and I think, the stories coming out of the club. There's obviously a bit of an arm wrestle going on. The backing Powell, it's needed. You can't have it. Any team, you've seen it in football, any team where the tail wags the dog, good luck with that.
Yeah.
You need a strong leader. And what has held all of the Super League winning teams thus far in good stead is the leadership. You look at the St Helens coaches that have won the Super League. You look at the Wigan coaches. You look at the Leeds coaches. You even look at the Bradford era under Brian Noble. These are people who aren't going to take any messing. They have a standard. You meet that standard or you go, because it's my ship. And unfortunately, it's a changing of the guard.
It is, and we haven't had that at Warrington since Tony Smith.
Tony Smith was the last one for me. Right, combined nations. Matautia. I'm going to put him at fullback. And the reason I put Matautia at fullback, I don't see anybody else who's going to play fullback. Looking at who's in the squad, I do not see anybody else who's going to play fullback. I mean, forgive me, Hull FC fans. I mean, you can see they put Lovadura out of it. I don't know if Lovadura can play fullback. If he can, maybe, but I just think it'll be Matautia. Don't know why I just do. Ken Sio, that's a shoo-in. We know that Sean Kenny Dowell's the captain, shoo-in. I think Samasoni Lange will start alongside Kenny Dowell.
Although he's got no pace.
Yeah,
same as Fanua. That's up again.
But again, I'm putting Fanua on because, again, logically, who else is going to play on the wing other than Fanua? I don't know. I think he'll play Cruz Leeming in the halves alongside Brodie Croft. So that allows Matt Parcell and Darrell Clark to be a part of the 17. So I do think Cruz Leeming will play in the halves. And again, who else is he going to pick? I say that he could have picked Lovadura, but the reason Lovadura is not in the team I'm picking is I think by putting Cruz Leeming at halfback, I think Brodie Croft picks himself. It frees up Matt Parcell and Darrell Clark to be in the 17. Satai, Pryor, see them start. Kenny Edwards, deservingly, I think he's going to start left second row. Reece Martin will be in there for his kicking, and he's having a great season for Leeds. And I think Tetevano will play 13 on the bench. Tanginoa, Lee Sao, Fafita, of course, has been called up today. That's been announced, so I do think he'll be on the bench in rotation. And Clark, and as you can see there, all right, Jacob Miller could have played in the house, but I do think Miller will miss out. I think Mayo will miss out. I think Lovadura will miss out. Could be wrong. What's the fans' forum's thoughts? Let me know your thoughts. Get into the chat. We'll put your suggestions in a minute. But what's your thoughts on the combined nations? Outright, would you make any changes?
I think Miller will start in the halves.
Yeah.
Leeming will start at hooker.
Right.
And I think Darrell Clark will be the one to miss out.
And again, on form, I don't think anybody got any argument.
Genuinely do, because he's playing behind a beaten pack. Week in, week out. I think Darrell Clark will be the one to miss out. He's again another one that's brought in kind of last minute.
Yeah.
I think Darrell Clark will be the one to miss out. I think Miller,
possibly.
Lovadura will be on the bench, I think.
Do you think he will be? I mean, look, I don't know. Again, Steve Tracy let me know, but Lovadura was, I think about 5 or 6 rounds ago, maybe in and around that time, he was unplayable. He was in incredible form, and all of a sudden, I don't know what's happening with him, but I'm not hearing much about him. He just seems to be going a little bit into the background. I don't know if it's because he's, the fact that Gale has come back. I don't know. I mean, but again, this is the thing about names, isn't it? He's brought Josh Reynolds back. He's brought Gale back, but Lovadura was outstanding for him.
Yeah. I don't know. Will he play against Warrington? He probably will.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, possibly. I mean,
would we have Lovadura at fullback?
And again, I don't. Again, forgive me. Lovadura. I think we said this when we had that break and we were picking players that weren't on our radar at the start of the season, but were, and Lovadura was one of them. Wasn't on our radar, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, where's this guy come from? So I don't know if he's got that in his locker or not. Again, Hull fans, let us know if he has or if he hasn't. But
is he capable of playing fullback? Because to be honest, he'd be better at fullback than Peter Matautia. That's no disrespect.
If he could play there, I mean, if he could play there, I don't know. But yeah, Steve Wilson's going in there. He says he thinks Luke Gale's had a lot to do with Lovadura going down the pecking order. But yeah, I mean, look, now comes the ultimate question. We sat here this time last year, and I backed the combined nations. Backed them. Did not fancy the England team at all. I don't think this year it's as good as a combined nations team. I think last year's was better. I think this is going to be close. Last year's was close. I think it was only 2 points in it, wasn't there? Last year's was close, but I think it'll be close. And the more I look at the two sides, the more I'm probably edging towards England.
I'm going to go the other way this year.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm going to go combined nations by, I think, 9-17.
Right. Okay. Just for fun, 9-17. We of course don't include this in our predictions league, but yeah, I get your point.
But if it is 9-17, I want the points.
No, won't be happening. England. I'm going England. Do you know what? I think it's vitally important that England win this game. Vitally important. Because, you know, the Rugby League World Cup is in this country. Tickets are still on sale. You want people getting behind the England squad. All right, the NRL boys have got to come into this team. I get that. But the bottom line is they're representing the country. They need to win this game. Steve Wilson's also saying the combined. He's going that way. He thinks the England team are poor. I don't think it's that bad. The more I look at it, I actually think I think there's a few players in there that won't be in the World Cup that perhaps are getting there on sentiment. Michael McIlroy, Ryan Hall, Callum Watkins. I think it's quite disappointing that we're going back to that well when actually there's a lot of talent in the league. And this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to give somebody a cap.
It's what we talk about every week, mate.
Yeah.
Names.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I mean, for me, Sean Wayne knows what Ryan Hall's. We all know what Ryan Hall's all about. We've been bleating on about him all season now. You know, yet again, just doing it again for KR. You know, you're not going to learn anything about Ryan Hall in this game. To give Matty Ashton, and I hope you're right. I hope Matty Ashton does play. To give Matty Ashton an international cap, to give him a platform, see what he's all about. That's what, that one for me. I look at Callum Watkins and I'm thinking, I get it to a degree because
hasn't he been playing second row a lot this season?
He has, and he's played well, But again, I question, really, Callum Watkins, really? I mean, surely his time's gone. I saw Martin Sadler saying about Toby King. Toby King should be nowhere near this. He's got to get a wriggle on as Toby King in terms of if he's got any chance of going to the World Cup because he's not been good enough.
No chance. I'll tell you that now.
I can't disagree with that. But I'd like to think, and I'm trying to think who. I mean, obviously Harry Newman, if he was fit, would probably be in there, wouldn't
he? Yeah.
Harry Newman, he'd probably be in there.
What's the thing at playing Wellesby maybe at centre and bringing Ratchford in at number 6, like at Warrington?
No, I think he plays Wellesby at 6.
I don't think he does. I don't think it happens. But instead of I think Callum Watkins, Wellesby at centre, who's played centre and won grand finals playing at centre. Percival's injured, isn't he? It's Percival. Where's Westerman? Where's Westerman? The best loose forward in the comp at this moment, as it stands.
Arguably. I think Luke Yates, Luke Yates, Ben Garcia, Westerman, and to a degree Morgan Knowles, but I would put Morgan Knowles on form. This isn't about ability. This is about form. And I say this every week. For me, Joe Westerman, I think on form, without doubt, would be up there, without doubt. Deserves to be in that squad. Deserves to be in that squad. Yeah, deserves to be in that squad. I look at Joe Philbin. I'm sorry. No, Joe Westerman should be
nowhere near it.
Joe Westerman should be there. And I'm a Whiting fan. Joe Westerman should be there by a country mile. So I don't get it. But anyway, we're not paid the money that Mr. Wayne is to do what he does. But hey, again
it's blinkered, and that's why we probably never will win the World Cup because we pick players
for the Australia, name, mate.
And not how they're playing.
Mate, Australia. Do you know what? Australia, Tonga,
yeah.
Final. I'll tell you. Don't write Tonga off. But yeah, I mean, Australia, mate. I mean, you watch the NR, you watch that State of Origin game the other week. The bags of riches that they've got. It's just it's incredible game.
I mean,
Wonderful game.
You got people like Pappenhausen who can't get near it.
Yeah, unbelievable game. And they've got, is it week on Sunday? This week on Sunday?
Sunday,
game 2. Brilliant.
Yeah. I mean,
outstanding.
That game was just
phenomenal.
Magnificent rugby
Phenomenal.
league.
Phenomenal,
It was
mate.
unbelievable.
Phenomenal, mate. And like I say, we have the Challenge Cup, they have State of Origin. But State of Origin, incredible. You just couldn't take your eyes off it, could you? Outstanding game. So that pretty much wraps us up. We're not going to do round 16 tonight.
Before you do, mate, remember Halliwell Jones as well. England ladies against the French ladies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get down for that, support the women's game. The women's game is growing. And you know
3
what?
o'clock.
Some great games in the women's game. Yeah, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, and then of course the England combined at 1:45.
Yeah. Don't turn up if you're coming along to Halliwell Jones. Don't just turn up for the England game against
get in there for the doors,
Get there for the women's game, because I tell you what, I've seen a lot of the women's game because my 2 daughters play, obviously.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's a fantastic level of rugby league. You'd be surprised if you've never watched it before. It is brilliant, honestly.
Yeah,
get down there and support the women's game.
Yeah,
please.
Couldn't agree with you more. And let's hope for a decent crowd. Let's hope for at least a 5-figure crowd down at the Halliwell Jones on Saturday. So as we say every week, we don't do this for anything other than the pure love of the game. That's why we do it. We'll just pay a quick tribute to the Super League YouTube channel. Of course, we use their channel for the highlights. And of course, we've also promoted that other documentary on the James Roby 455 games. Have a look at that. It's a good watch. It's a really good watch. Have a look at that. We'll always promote things from other teams.
And we will of course, on Sunday, there's the Disability International.
The Disability game as well.
Get behind that as well.
Are you now? Is 9 o'clock going to be a regular thing, or are we going back to 8? What's better for you?
8 o'clock is okay for the next couple of weeks.
Super. So we'll be back to 8 o'clock then next week, everybody. And as we've been doing now for quite some time, what we're going to do to close the show is we're going to take a look at the top performers of Super League thus far. A few changes and a few new names in this, but we will be back 8 o'clock next Tuesday for Super League Raw Weekly. We hope you've enjoyed the show. And Greg, enjoy the England game, sir.
I will do.
See you next week. Enjoy your rugby league, everybody.
Pleasure as always. Enjoy your game, mate.
Here comes the top performers. See you next week.